Oh, what is up, guys? Welcome to shop update for March 7th. Okay, let's get moving because there's kind of a lot. So, chopper, as you can see, they got the front all closed up. New shear bar in there, but the rolls were in good shape. Everything was good. They got the new arm on there. Then you come over here, and the other one is right back in here. They got it on. This gearbox, it is a massive, massive upgrade from the old style one that was over here and full of gears that were constantly getting stripped out. But it is a pain to work in. It's going to be too dark. There's, I don't know, a couple of inches between that gearbox and the rolls. So it's a whole new set of challenges in there. But as you can see, that gap and that gap are almost identical, which is what you want there. Let me get this light plugged in. Hang on one second. Okay, you guys still there? Alright, I had to get the light turned on so we could see over here, because I remember when I was showing you guys stuff on the other chopper, could never see anything in here, and that was kind of frustrating, for me at least. So there is what we call the blower, right there. That spins around and around, and those paddles throw the crop through the transition tube there and out the spout. On the front side of that blower is where the problems are on these machines, the 8000 and the 9000. Where's a hole on the front side of that blower, crop gets out, starts pushing on wire harness in there. Not a good thing. So they came out with a deal saying, well, we've got plates that we made 20 years ago for a swather that work perfect for it. So we've got these plates that we're just welding in there. Seem to be working with the other chopper. Now, as you can see, the spout there, missing a little bit. So we come over here, and there it is. Well, yeah, most of it. So this is what they call the 12-row spout. The base spout is that guy that's up there. Well, they also have the California spout, that's about all the more the spout is. But for the high arch guys, you know, the rest of the world that has the big spouts, not the California flatties, that's the base spout. Then you start adding on your extension based on how long a header you have. Glenn's is just a touch shorter than this one because he only runs the 10-row head on that 8700. Problem with this guy, the fold mechanism and all these teeth. As you can see on that one, it's missing a tooth. This guy's missing a tooth. And we think that's from all the flood fields we do, having to bounce across furrows. You just get so much force out here. You can watch the spout bouncing and shaking. We think that's what's breaking the teeth. The problem is, the way they mesh together, when you start getting them broke, it'll let it move a little, and then it won't line up with this plate here, it'll be off. That becomes a major problem when you're trying to punch a hole. You need that to be coming out real uniform and together and tight. With a little notch like that, it acts like it's hitting a stop, and it deflects the crop. So you have part of it still flowing nice, part of it hitting that, and then you just have this massive fan of crop coming out the back, and you make a mess. Now, in Deere's infinite wisdom, these guys, as you can see, are welded on. Those guys are bolted on. So those guys are replaceable. These guys are not. But if you do some looking, those two are the same as these two, just reversed. So they cut the old ones off, welded new ones on, gave it a coat of paint, good to go. So now they got to replace the ones on there, and then the flapper down here bolts onto that short little piece. It's got one little hole right there in that shield. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Now our fix this fall to keep everything from being a problem was we bolted the spout solid so it couldn't move. That worked great in the field. That was kind of a major problem out of the field, because going down the road, that means your spout is sticking way out behind you. I don't like that. Servicing, blowing this thing off every night with that big air compressor, I had 2 pretty good sized lumps on the back of my head because I'd be blowing it off and just back right into that with the back of my head because you forget that it's there. But yeah, so Bart and Glenn, they are just moving right through this. While I'm looking at it, Aaron and Cody have been servicing pivots. So we got the Zamatic grease, which is about the consistency of a thick pudding, and, or not grease, it's their gearbox oil. It's kind of like grease. And then the air compressor and the grease gun and a random piece of rebar. So servicing pivots. The center pivot point has some grease zerks on it for where everything rotates. Then at each tire, you obviously have air in the tires if they're the air type tires. Each tire is driven by a gearbox. Those gearboxes are full of that oil. So you got to drain the water out, because if you don't move them for a long time, that water will settle out. Drain the water, refill the gearbox, or top off the gearbox. Check your U-joints, because the electric motor that drives them is in the middle. You got a drive line going out each side of that motor, going to each gearbox. There we go. So each drive line would have a U-joint on each end, so you got to double check them. Then you got to double check the motor. All in all, it takes 2 guys. If there's no problems, it takes them about 2 hours to go through a 7-tower pivot. So they've been getting through all them. And yeah, that's really been the big thing in the shop. We got a hell of a collection of boxes from all of our fun with the laser. I talked about that in a video I recorded the other day. So you'll learn all about our fun-filled laser problems in the next, no, that'll come out. So you would have already heard about our fun-filled laser problems, because this won't come out for a week. But yeah, so we got a pile of boxes we need to burn off. And yeah, we're just moving right through projects. So with that being said, make sure to give video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It really helps. We'll see you guys in the next video.